Hello fellow humans, and today I want to talk about the M103, a tank that is very meh, pretty much. And it does lead up to the E5, which has gotten its armor buffed recently, but it still retains absolutely horrible DPM. It's actually lower than that of the M103. So this vehicle is meh for mainly two reasons. First of all, you have about 120,000 XP that you need to research this gun to make it actually capable at doing anything. That doesn't even lead you to the T125, which means you either have the choice of playing this vehicle completely stock for a while with this gun and the stock turret, or you have to spend a lot of XP trying to upgrade this thing, which is obviously very annoying. And the second thing is that this thing overall is a bit meh. Anyway, now let's have a look at the stats and the armor, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now the gun on this thing is fine. You got 400 alpha damage, you got solid penetration, especially on your heat rounds with 340, and you also got 2.5k DPM, which is somewhat solid, and it's actually above the average of all these others here. It's more accurate as well, to a certain degree, and the dispersion, though, it could be better. It's on the level of a 50 TP. And then the mobility, which is in the middle as well, it's average for what it is, and that's kind of the problem with this tank. It's just not really good at anything, and you'll see that in the armor as well, which is the biggest problem with this tank. Now, this tank is supposed to be a hull-down heavy tank, and while you can very well do that with something like a 50 TP, this vehicle, you have no armor here. So on this side of the turret, you can be penned very, very easily. As you can see, obviously you don't want to shoot on the side plate here because that gets very thick. However, the turret itself, you can get through the most part here. And the upper plate is pretty strong, 300 millimeters. You might not want to shoot at that. Lower plate is also well angled, like this boat shape. So that's very nice. However, obviously, if you want to go hull down on this thing, you can still get penned through the turret very easily. And that's kind of the biggest meh factor about this vehicle. Here we go, in a game, and it is a good map, essentially, because we have that massive ridge up there. It's a tier 10 game, though, so we'll see. Now, I never get how the E5 got cocked that badly with its DPM, because here's the thing. High alpha damage, high DPM is amazing. High alpha damage, low DPM works. High DPM, low alpha damage works. Low DPM, low alpha damage is horrible, like it is on the T110E5. So, let's see. The STB is somehow here in the middle, and there you can see now. Another big problem with this tank as well is that the turret is very long, so if you have a tank that is above you, then it's pretty easy for them to straight up pin you. Now, let's see if we can get a shot if it's heavy. Nope, he cannot. Okay, the grill's gonna go camping, and I have no idea what's happening in this game because the mediums aren't very mediuming, and that is normally a sign of it not being very good. And they have two more. Yep, they have two more mediums, which would make me assume that they're actually intelligent, unlike ours, and they have full control over the map. Now, it's obviously not great, and obviously we only have two mediums, they got three, but with the STB being down here, it would have been 2v2. So let's see, gonna try to fight this guy. How did you not pin that? Anyway, should be able to beat him at this point if he keeps not pinning me, and if I have the support of not the Foch, because the Foch is dead. The problem is the grill can push me, so I want to watch out for that. Gonna try and track him. Gonna try to somewhat, not really side scrape, but get my hull hidden behind the house of the rock. That is not a house, but anyway. Let's see now. I need 2 shots. He needs 3 shots, which means I kind of can win this from now on. However, obviously, he's pulling back, rightfully so. And now the grill could be a problem. Let's see if we can take a shot at that. Nope, not quite. It's not looking very good because the 1-2-1 is dead. The standard B killed the FV, and now the TVP is also dead. So it's basically 3 versus 6 at this point, unless they have a 1-shot as well. I mean, the ISA is 2-shot, but that's not quite enough. So well, there you go, 62A. Gonna have a shot at him, and that's, as you can see, that's how important map control is. If you control the map like that standard B over there, you can spot the Foch, you can light them up, you can do a lot, which is, if you have bad medium tanks players on your team, it's most likely not going to end very well for you in most cases, because mediums take the space. If you don't have the space, you don't get the wins. Let's see if we can get one reload. Probably not, because the grill has extremely high DPM. There we go, got 1 shot, and he's even on fire. And he does not have a extra repair kit. So that's another 700 damage for me. So now, here we go. In the second game. Let's see if this one's gonna be a bit better. Now, it is Mines, which is normally a very horrible map, but if you're on a hull-down heavy tank that had armor, then it would be a great map. Now, again, the M103 is like half-baked, pretty much. It can be good at something, but then again, it also has something else that's pulling it down, which means it's balanced, pretty much, right? Now, the problem with that is that there is no real point in obtaining this vehicle. The T125, well, it got buffed, but the main problem still remains of its absolutely abysmal DPM. So, there is really no point to pick this thing up, especially if you have to invest 120k free XP to just make it playable. Which is, not good. So, it would obviously be a lot better if this thing wouldn't have the absolute insane price for the... I mean, then again, something like a Conqueror has the same price for its gun. That's just normal for tier 9. However, at least there, you can do both at the same time. You research the gun, and then after that, you research the tank. Whereas with this thing, you get the E5 without the upgrade. So, I don't know, man. It's a bit dumb. And you don't really want the E5 anyway, because at that point, if you want a slow, painful, well-armored, shit-gunned heavy tank, you might as well just get the Type 71 anyway. So, the E5 is still very disappointing with what it is, especially when you have something like a Super Conqueror lying around that has exactly what the E5 lacks, and that is the insane DPM. So, yeah, well, the M103 has more DPM than the E5, which is like... Why? Nonetheless, the M103 is a very there tank. It's in the game. It's present. And playing it will be very easy. All you gotta do is get yourself onto a ridgeline, you hide your hull, and you use your 8 degrees of gun depression, and you try to make the enemy not pin the sides of your turret. It's pretty straightforward, right? Now, let's see what we can do in this game, because we are, in fact, playing at a disadvantage here. Well, now the game's fair again, and we can kill the emerald, and it will be very nice. 340 heat penetration is absolutely lovely. Alright, 4 versus 3. I do not count that Lorraine, ever, because here's the thing. That guy can either do 2k damage, or he can do 0 damage. Most likely he will do 0 damage, which means I will completely disregard people like that from my calculations, because here's the thing. If you know that someone is doing something incredibly stupid, they're more likely to continue to be incredibly stupid, which means you might as well ignore them, or use their hit points for your advantage. Now, I don't want to obviously get shot by that SMV, because the hull on this thing, it's not that good, of course. And now, hello Lorraine, how does it feel? You just missed. Congratulations. So, let's see. Only T3, it's 3.5k. And yeah, if you're a good player, this thing's gonna work. The problem is the pointlessness of this vehicle. Now, while you can certainly get it, and the T29 and the T32 are very solid tanks for their tiers. T9 and T10 on this line are a bit disappointing, and that's sad. Now he's gonna die to the me, and that's Mines. That's 4k in the M103, which is a vehicle that I don't recommend. Now, hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed. Maybe it gave you some ideas, but if you're already playing the vehicle, if not, I wouldn't recommend it. It's about meh. So, thank you very much for watching. See you next one. Goodbye.